In the dark and turbulent world of 17th century New England, a wave of hysteria swept through the small village of Salem, Massachusetts. This wave of fear and paranoia led to one of the most infamous and tragic chapters in our world's history, the Salem witch trials. This video explores the chilling events that unfolded, delving into the causes, the horrifying experiences of the accused, and the grim legacy left behind. The Puritan settlement of Salem was a deeply religious community grappling with the uncertainties of a new world. Life in Salem was marked by strict religious observance and a belief in the supernatural. The villagers believed that the devil was an ever-present threat, lurking in the shadows, ready to corrupt their souls. This intense fear of the devil and his alleged agents, witches, set the stage for the hysteria that would soon consume Salem. Accusations of witchcraft and sorcery would soon be all too common. Among those accused was Rebecca Nurse, a 71-year-old woman known for her piety and kindness. Despite her impeccable reputation, Rebecca found herself caught in the web of hysteria. Rebecca lived with her husband, Francis, on a farm just outside Salem Village. They were respected members of the community, and Rebecca was known for her gentle nature and strong faith. However, the growing paranoia spared no one. It all began when young girls in the village claimed to be afflicted by witchcraft. Under pressure, they named Rebecca as one of their tormentors. On a chilly March morning, Rebecca was arrested and taken to the meeting house for examination. The room was filled with anxious townsfolk, their faces etched with fear and suspicion. The young accusers sat at the front, pointing fingers and crying out as Rebecca entered the room. The air was thick with tension as the magistrates questioned her. Rebecca, her hands trembling, looked around at the familiar faces turned hostile. "I am innocent," she said firmly. "I have lived my life in service to God and my community. I would never harm anyone." Despite her protests, the girls continued their accusations, claiming to see Rebecca's spirit tormenting them. Spectral evidence, unseen by anyone but the afflicted, carried significant weight in the trials. The villagers watched in horror as the girls' fits grew more intense, their cries echoing through the meeting house. Hanged for her crimes, her story is one of many that perished to this so-called witch hunt. Imagine the chilling fear and helplessness that would grip you as you find yourself suddenly and inexplicably accused of witchcraft in a 17th century Puritan community. One moment, you are living your everyday life, and the next, you are surrounded by hostile faces, eyes filled with suspicion and fear. Your neighbors, once friends, now whisper behind your back, spreading rumors of dark pacts and malevolent spells. The local magistrates, driven by their own fears and the fervor of religious zeal, begin to question you mercilessly. Every action and word you've ever spoken is twisted into evidence of your guilt. The more you deny the accusations, the more fervently they believe in your supposed guilt, seeing your protests as the devil's cunning. You are taken from your home and imprisoned in a cold, damp cell, where the air is thick with the stench of mold and despair. The sound of distant cries and the clank of chains are your constant companions. Your cell is dark and suffocating, with only a small barred window, allowing a sliver of light to pierce the gloom. Days turn into nights with little distinction, and the passage of time becomes a blur. The only certainty is your growing fear and your sentence. By the spring of that year, a special court was established to hear the cases of those accused of witchcraft. The trials were conducted with a sense of urgency and fervor, driven by a belief that the devil was at work in Salem. The court relied heavily on spectral evidence, testimony that the spirit or specter of the accused was seen committing witchcraft. This type of evidence, based on dreams and visions, was highly subjective and unreliable. As the trials progressed, the accused were subjected to grueling interrogations and often coerced into confessing to witchcraft. The fear and desperation of the accused were palpable as they faced the very real possibility of execution. Many of the accused were women, but men and children were also caught in the web of hysteria. The trials became a spectacle, drawing crowds of onlookers who were both fascinated and horrified by the proceedings. And so, as the final gavel struck, and the last innocent soul was condemned, the dark shadows of the Salem witch trials lingered, their whispers of fear and hysteria echoing through time. The once peaceful village of Salem was forever scarred, haunted by the restless spirits of those wrongfully accused and executed. The chilling legacy of the trials serves as a grim reminder of how easily the fabric of society can unravel, plunging us into a vortex of paranoia and dread.